I want my daddy to come home. I want my daddy to come home so that we can play in the sand and Mommy will be happy and I will be happy too. I want to go to the sand so I can get seashells. When Daddy isn't here, Mommy falls asleep really early and she can't take me to the sand. She doesn't let me come into her room. When she's done crying, she lets me come in and we watch on her small TV. But I don't like it the best because it doesn't have color. My sister Elena is my favorite. She takes me to the sand when she gets off of work at the best Chinese restaurant in the world. I don't think she likes going to the sand, but she does anyway because I like it. Elena and I don't look alike because we have different daddies. Elena's daddy is in heaven and my daddy is in Iraq. I sometimes cry when I miss Daddy, but usually only after I have a bad dream. Mommy comes to get me sometimes. My name is Micah, and Daddy's name is Michael, so people always tell me that I'm just like him on the inside. I don't know if it's because we have almost the same name or if it's something else. I want to be an astronaut or something cool like that when I grow up, but Mrs. Welsh said that you have to pee in your suit if you go to space, so I don't know. My favorite color is light blue, but I also like green. This is my neighbor's dog. My neighbors let me play with her a lot because I don't have my own dog. Her name is Lucy. She's the best dog in the world. What else can I tell you about me? I go to church every Sunday, but Elena only sometimes comes with me because she yells at Mommy and Mommy yells at her a lot, and you're not supposed to yell at church. Do you know the difference between Jesus and God? I don't either. Jesus is the Son, but Daddy said that they're also the same, so it gets really confusing for me. When Daddy is home, he talks to me about Jesus before I fall asleep. My Sunday school teacher, Miss Angelica, said that I have to love Jesus more than anyone, even Mommy and Daddy and my sister. But I don't think I love Jesus more than my sister. That's a secret. Oh no, 0 battery. Darn. Come on, Lucy, let's go home.
You were talking in your sleep last night.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you were.
No.
Yes. Come on, let's take Lucy back to her house, yeah?
Why? I don't want her to leave.
Come on, we can play with her tomorrow. Come on. So how was school?
Good. But why didn't you pick me up today?
Because I had work. So what was good? What did you learn?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? What was good? What did you learn?
We learned about the planets. And Mrs. Welsh said that Earth is the only planet with the ocean. But then I asked how she knew for sure that Earth was the only planet, because how could she really know that if she hasn't been to the other ones yet? But then I got in kind of trouble because I didn't raise my hand before I asked. But she also said it was a good question.
Really good question.
Can we go to the sand?
You didn't even ask me what you were saying in your sleep last night.
Fine, what was I saying?
You were talking about all sorts of things.
No, I wasn't. You're joking.
No, I'm not joking. You were talking about space and animals and that boy you like at school.
What? No, I wasn't.
So there is a boy.
No. How was work?
Work was work. Oh, guess what?
What?
A lady came in and said that it was the best Chinese food she's ever had.
I told you, it is the best Chinese food in the world.
Better than China?
I've never been to China. Wait, have you?
Of course I have.
You're joking again.
You got me. Okay, Micah, calm down. Look at me. It's okay.
No,
it's okay. It's okay. It's
gonna
okay.
be okay. Come
no,
here.
Micah, come here.
It's okay. It's okay. Come on. Micah, no, we have to go now. Come on. No, baby, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
gonna be okay. Come here. It's okay. It's okay, baby. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Come on, baby girl. It's okay. It's okay.
What's gonna happen to Lucy?
I don't know, Nina.
Is there room for dogs in heaven?
Yeah, of course there is. Yeah.
Elena,
Mm-hmm.
do you believe in Jesus? Like my daddy?
I think so.
Why do you just think so?
If you believe, I believe. How's that?
Good. Do you think Jesus had a sister?
I don't know. Definitely not as cool as mine, though. Want to know what I really think? I think this is all a scam. This is fucking ridiculous. All this shit can't happen in one person's life. And 8 years ago, my dad decides he can't handle himself, and whoop! There he goes, right off the boat. I mean, what a way to go. Talk about some telenovela drama. I mean, this man, he hated his life so goddamn much, he fucking swan dove right out of here. And then my mother. She was a champ for a while. Just me and her. And then a soldier sweeps through town. A soldier. Have you ever seen a soldier by the beach? Have you? Me neither. Michael's nice. Michael's great, actually. But then he goes overseas, and Mom starts drinking vodka like it's water, and I get stuck raising their kid. Their kid. Do you want to know what her teachers do to me when I pick her up from school? Do you? They look at me all confused and scared, and finally they say, "Oh, you must be her nanny." They're right, I might as well be her nanny. Brown girl taking care of white child, not going anywhere anytime soon. Micah's my sister, and she's perfect. And sweet. And the best thing that has ever happened to me. And probably the worst. Because I'm never getting out of here.
Elena was really mad that day. I know it's not very nice to listen at the door, but it was hard to sleep with all the yelling.
What the hell? Oh, good, you're up.
She even sprayed water on Mommy's face. I'm not trying to be mean, but she was sort of crazy that day.
What is wrong with you? I am taking her away.
What?
the hell are you talking about? You heard me.
Elena, you're delusional.
Yeah, and you're drunk. I am getting out of this godforsaken place, and I am taking Micah with me.
That's funny.
God, how many did you even have?
Been a rough.
I don't care. I don't care. Do you know how many rough days I've had? You didn't pick her up from school.
I thought you were picking her up.
No, I told you I had work.
No, you didn't.
You seriously gonna argue with me when you can't even stand up?
Well, then who picked her up?
The neighbors. Brought her home. She was waiting out on a tree stump waiting for me to come with the keys. She just watched the dog die.
What? Look, it won't happen again.
Mom.
It won't.
Mom. You have been drinking for weeks without stopping. You haven't held a conversation with her in days. When was the last time you showered?
You are not taking her. You can leave if you want, but you're not taking her.
This is fucking child neglect. You know that, right?
Where are you gonna go? You aren't exactly making it big at that restaurant, are
You didn't pick her up from school.
She could have come to the door.
Oh, yeah, like you would have heard her.
Look, I'm gonna get help, sweetheart.
You have said that a million times.
I need a little time.
No, you don't get any more time.
You're right. You like to be right. Okay? This is not about being right, Mom. I need one more chance. In 1 month, I'll be clean.
This is your last chance. Promise me.
I promise.
Do you want me to make you a castle?
Yeah.
Yeah. I want a pet rat.
What? You want a pet rat?
Uh-huh. Rachel has pet rats. She brought them in their cage for show and tell today. One has red eyes and one has black eyes.
Yeah, you're not getting a pet rat.
Why not?
Oh, rats aren't pets. They're rodents. They're disgusting.
They're not rodents.
No, baby, no. No pet rats.
Then why is Rachel allowed to have them?
I don't know, Nina, because her mommy and daddy are okay with pet rats.
But I'm gonna need a rat because now I don't have Lucy to play with.
Hey, look, I'm gonna go try and catch some sand crabs. Hey, why not? Hey, what's the matter? I know this isn't about a pet rat.
I miss Daddy.
Yeah. I know you do. I know. But it's okay. He's gonna be home soon.
Can I ask you something? Mm-hmm. Do you miss your daddy too?
Yeah, sometimes I do. But it's okay. I'm tough.
Get him on the boy finger. That's it, the one that
Mommy? Mommy, can you come here? Mommy? I had a bad dream. Mommy, I'm scared.
I have to take her. Please, Elena, please. She's gonna be fine.
Mom,
She's gonna get stitches and she's gonna be fine.
24 stitches.
Okay. You can't take her. You can't. She's mine. She's not yours.
Do you understand? She was injured because of you. I overheard the nurse station talking in Spanish. They were going to call Child Protective Services. And the only reason they didn't is because I told them I was going to become her guardian.
I am her mother. Elena, you're not her mother.
You are her mother. Who didn't come when she called you? You are her mother. Look at you. You think I want to do this? You think I want to take her from you? You think I want to give up my whole life? There are things that I want to do, that I need to do. You were my mom too, you know. I don't care how old I am, you were my mom. But you are sick. And you need to get better. We both need you around. Please don't take her away. Please. Okay. I'll go. Because you have to keep her here. You have to keep her with her school, and you have to keep her with her friends, and you have to keep her with the water because she loves the water. And you have to keep her here. It's okay, Mom. Okay. It's not forever, yeah? You're gonna get better, and you're gonna come back, and everything is gonna be fine. Yeah? Yeah. I'm gonna get better. And I'm gonna come home to bother you. All clean. All clean. Toda limpia. Toda limpia. You take care of my girl.
Elena, we're gonna be late.
No, you got it. You have everything?
Wait, I need my snack.
Oh, okay, go. Hurry, hurry.
Okay.
Go right to the car, okay?
Okay. Hi, friend.
Ah, how's the water over there?
It's nice and warm. How's it over there?
It's cold.
Oh, well, you should warm up.
How do I do that?
How do you do a flip like that?
I use my back.
I have to be careful because I have babies with me.
Oh, I see the babies. What are the names?
Oh, this one is Jeffrey.
Oh,
and
Jeffrey.
This one is Sunny.
Come on, baby girl. It's time to get dressed.
I'm drawing. 5 more minutes.
No, you said that 5 minutes ago.
Please.
Micah,
I don't want to go to school.
I know you don't, and I don't want to go to work, but sometimes we have to do things that we don't want to do.
No.
Micah, I'm not going to say it again. Get up.
No. I'm not going. Stop.
What? What is wrong with you this morning?
I have to finish my drawing. It's for Mommy.
Okay, you can finish it later when we get home.
I have to finish it now.
Why?
I have to finish it now because if I finish it, then I can give it to Mommy and it will make her better.
Okay, it doesn't work that way, Nina. She will be home soon, okay?
No, you said that yesterday. And the day before that. And the day before that. You're not my mommy. And you're not my daddy. And Mrs. Welsh said that kids who don't have mommies and daddies are orphans. And that means I'm an orphan. And you are too. And I want my mommy. And if I give her really nice pictures, then she can come home and we can go to the sand and...
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. I'm here. It's okay. I'm not going anywhere.
Elena tells me that the ocean is our best friend, but also our most dangerous friend. She says the ocean is stronger than us, stronger than all people. It's stronger than us because it can pull us under. So you always have to have a grown-up with you to help your feet stay planted in the sand so you don't get lost under the current. She says that even though we think that walking on the sand and collecting seashells is the best thing in the world, we have to be really careful. And we can never be too shy or too scared to ask for help. The water is really cold, but I still put my feet in no matter how cold it is, because I'm tough, just like Elena.
Michael? Hi. Hi, it's Elena. I need, can you please come home? in these times?
Well, first, should I like wait until they can hear us, or should I just continue?
I'm thinking that the delay should be catching up right about now. So.
Oh, okay, got it. Well, first of all, thank you. Yeah, it. As Melissa said, we were in class together when I wrote the first draft of this piece, and that was right before the pandemic. I think like a week before I turned in. First, should I like wait my first draft of the play? And then a couple weeks later, when we were in lockdown, Megan reached out to me and asked me to be a part of this wonderful festival. And you know, we definitely thought we would be like in person by then, or by now, but over the course of, oh my gosh, like 6 months, 8 months, something like that, I like kept writing, kept developing it, and we would have meetings with Megan and the rest of the team and the other writers, Nick and Mika, and we would get notes and feedback and then write some more and then go back, and it was a really amazing process, and I was so surprised by just how much we were able to do and how much I was able to get out of it, you know, in these times. And the way we were able to adapt it to film, I was like so happy with, and yeah, it just sort of evolved from there. And it was really exciting to see how this play could be in a lot of different forms, not just, you know, in the way it was meant to be. But so yeah,
I think it worked great on film as well. It had there was so much heart in it because we really got to be right up close with the actors in a way that we don't always get in live theater. So I think there are pros to both. And like, kudos to all of you for being able to rise up to the occasion and really deliver on a really amazing piece. We have some great audience questions coming in. So let's start off with this one from Jose Ramirez. So it's too bad that Lola can't make it. What a star. So Jose is wondering if, what was it like directing and acting with a dog? That could be for anybody.
I feel like I'll comment on the directing part, and I think Kat can definitely comment on the acting part. She's a very well-trained dog, but I was asking her to do certain things, obviously, that weren't normal, like stay for long, long periods of time. Like, she knows how to stay for a minute or so, but she was trying to stay for like 2 or 3 minutes. It was not working. So there were definitely a lot of takes, but in the scenes where you see them walking with the dog at the park, she did a pretty good job. I taught Hope how to make her heel, and she would just walk with them without the leash. So yeah, get a well-trained dog who loves people.
If you are looking to hire a dog.
Yes, I could talk about acting with Lola. She was an amazing dog, and we loved having her, and she was kind of just playing around in our apartment. And it was super fun to have her, and she kind of like brought even some energy to it because we all were having fun with her. It was a little stressful. This scene when trying to, at least for me, because I like, you know, got a little stressed trying to like make sure that she wasn't going to move just because we were doing the scene a lot, and there were like lots of distractions for her like at the park where we were filming. But no, she was great, and she was the star of the show, and it was really great to play with her.
She is the star. You all are. So we have another question from Falcon PE. Falcon is asking, what was the inspiration for the piece?
So that's a good question. I should have prepped for that question. So I was in, like I talked about with Melissa, a playwriting class taught by Juliet Carrillo, and it really started this one day. She said, close your eyes and see a character. And I closed my eyes and saw Micah, and I saw this little girl on a tree stump and by the beach. And I grew up by the beach. My first home was sort of the inspiration of like this little apartment right by the beach, and how it just kind of felt like the whole world. And so that was like the place I started from. And then from there, I started playing with the idea of sisters, and, you know, maybe sisters from different cultures, or like sisters that have a big age gap. And I definitely drew inspiration from my relationship with my sister. It's very different. I'm not super, like, much older than her, but I felt like I definitely drew inspiration from that connection that I had with a younger sister, and how I don't know, that really shaped my life and how much it did feel like her and I sort of in our own little world by the beach. And that's sort of where it started. The rest of it kind of just came from there. And I really was obsessed with the idea of having a play like through the eyes of a child, really. And that's why I was so grateful we were able to play with kind of the point of view with like camera angles and stuff, which sort of worked to our advantage, because we were really worried about like maintaining social distancing and everybody being safe. And even though we were all tested and everything, we wanted to make sure to keep our distance. And so the moments where it is from like Micah's point of view with the camera angles, I think really played on like my original inspiration, was that like, who is this little girl living through these like really adult situations, and how does she see them and how do they affect her? And so that was sort of the inspiration behind it.
I have a follow-up question that's sort of related to that. This one's mine. Where did the inspiration for the title come from? So you said it's from Micah's point of view. So how did the title come up, and how did that sort of influence the story? Because I heard it a lot, because this is like the second time I've seen it, and I hear like the best so often. And so I'm wondering how the title came about and what that best thing in the world is. Maybe for everybody, for every character.
Yeah, that was something that I would say a lot growing up. Like everything, like every Christmas, it was the best Christmas ever, and every birthday was the best birthday ever, and oh my gosh, it's the best thing in the world. And like I would just say it, and I meant it every time. And I sort of still mean it when I say it. But I felt very like, Micah's obviously living through these adult situations, with Jodi's alcoholism and with her dad not being there and all of these things, and that she still sees things as the best thing in the world. And I think that's just sort of the beauty of being a child. And it's kind of like, look at her kind of screwed up circumstances, and she is still this kid who she loves the beach, and it's the best Chinese restaurant in the world. It's like, it's just kind of, and that's kind of, I'm stuttering, but that's, the inspiration of the title was just being a kid and seeing it all through her eyes. Because it's obviously not the best thing in the world, but...
Yeah, well, that optimism is also beautiful, especially given... So that now I'm going to ask another question. How did the context of having to be socially distant and wearing masks, how did that influence the story? And how did that sort of factor into both the acting process, the directing process, and also the adaptation of the piece from whatever you saw in your head that might be on stage to it being a filmed format in this context?
I can start and then I can pass it to you, Megan, if you want to speak on it a little. Yeah, Megan and I had a lot of conversations, and Megan and I have talked like every day for like the past year, just like trying to figure out how to make this work. And she was actually the one who came up with the idea of having these point of view shots. Because my biggest thing was like, these are sisters, like they touch, they hug, like Elena would hold her, Elena would, and that's maybe partially just the way I grew up. I was like a very like affectionate child. I'm an affectionate person. And so I was really like worried about like, how are we going to get this sisterly connection without like the physical touch? And like, how is this going to be? But I really do think it worked. I'm biased, but I really do think we made it work. A combination of those POV shots and Megan's incredible directing, I think, and the actors just really speaking, like showing their love through their words, I think was really a big part of it. But Megan, if you want to speak on it more.
Yeah, it was definitely a challenge with the physical affection. And especially from a director's point of view, I didn't want it to be obvious to the audience, like, wow, they're really far apart. This feels very strange. Oh, COVID times. Like, I didn't want people watching that and thinking that that's why. And it's just, we're used to being physically close. And especially when we're affectionate and when we care about one another, we're close. So yeah, the POV was kind of a breakthrough that Stacey and I had one night. And I think it worked. I also want to give kudos to the actors, and if they want to comment on just how being in rehearsal online translates, because most of these actors had not worked together before or very briefly, and then were forced to come into person and have this chemistry. Day one, we were filming, we filmed in 2 days. So all of that was needed like then and there. And it was very hard to kind of, they did a great job of it, but getting from the virtual room to a physical space and making it still look like we had built these relationships over time. So I don't know if they want to comment on that. I'm kind of throwing another thing out there. I don't know how that was for you guys.
I'll expand on that question. So what was the rehearsal process like? And how was it taking that sort of relationship you built over Zoom, maybe without a mask, to all of a sudden throwing it together with masks, with blocking and distancing? How was that process for you, and how did that challenge you as an actor? Sarah Jane.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting because obviously, like, Zoom isn't always ideal, but kind of in the context of this show, it was kind of nice sometimes because we do exercises, which I loved, where Megan would have us like find something in our room that we connected with, or really envisioning the apartment, right? And or for me, like Jodie's room. And so being in my room was actually really helpful because I could ground myself really well and then take that into the space for filming. And it was actually really funny because I imagined Jodie's room being kind of empty and sad, and I was actually moving upstairs at the time, so I literally had like a mattress in my room. And so I was like, this is meta. But it was definitely interesting suddenly them being in person with everyone and being like, hello, and having that, you know, even like the scene where we're in the hospital of having the fact that we're playing to the idea that there are people around, that this is a private conversation with people around, but we are 6 feet apart, you know, and trying to have that intimacy while maintaining that distance and not being like, hello, you know. But it was not as challenging as I expected it to be. I will say that. But I do think that has a lot to do with the entire team being really good, even over Zoom, about really trying to connect with each other and doing exercises that grounded each other and sharing experiences and whatnot. And we kind of were very open with each other, which I think was very helpful. So we didn't get in the room and we were like, hello, stranger. Like, yeah. That's my tip, but I'm gonna mute myself now and someone else can talk.
I gotta say, that hospital scene, I really do think that some of these challenges really added to the piece of that distance, and there was sort of this air of loneliness and solitude to the sisters so often. Even if they had each other, it was like they only had each other. And so I'd say kudos to rising to the occasion and really using that to your advantage. Does any other actor or anybody else want to talk to what the process was like and what it was like? I mean, this is a sort of a new way of storytelling, especially now that like plays set in this time period will not have to be like, oh, this is an alternate universe where the pandemic didn't happen. But obviously in this version, it was happening, and you all were acknowledging it in a certain way by having the masks and the distance. So anybody else want to speak to what that was like?
I can say a little thing, and then I want to make sure Hope gets to speak too. But yeah, so I mean, definitely as an actor, you know, we work off so much off of like the energy of the room and like the person, and like everything, you know, in the scene is about the other person. And so it was interesting over Zoom because there is like sort of a barrier to the energy, but it's also really interesting because, I mean, like my whole like, or all of our last, you know, past year has been on Zoom. And so I feel like we've kind of started to be able to develop this sense almost of like reading the energy even over Zoom of like where they are and how they're feeling. And so it, like we were able to adapt to Zoom, but then like, yes, once we were doing it in person, it was like great to be able to then kind of feed off more of the energy. And luckily I had known both of them because Hope and I were in a show previously together. We didn't have any scenes together. We had a look that was very important to us. And then Sarah Jane and Stacey and I actually lived together. And so like I kind of knew a little bit, which also helped. But it was, yeah. So I think
we were able to adapt, but it was also great to do it in person. And I'll let Hope speak too.
Yeah, I mean, just I think echoing what both of you both said, and I mean, how many times am I gonna say I mean, everything that Megan did, I think, and like created this space of just, I'm echoing what you all said, of just being really open and using that space on Zoom to prep in a way so that when we were together, it was like we were just ready in that room. And I contribute that a lot to how Megan ran the rehearsals. There was a lot of them, and they were really in depth and just really like personal and connected to our character and the whole story. So that, it was easy. It was easy once we got in the room. It was like, oh, we know this story inside out. We know our characters. We know our relationship with these, two other people. So it was a good transition. Of course, I'd rather we were in person always, but we did the best we could.
I mean, that ease and that familiarity comes across like really clearly. Hearing that it was filmed in 2 days, that is shocking. Congratulations. Because like I would have thought solid week of filming. They were so good. They were committed to it 24/7, like amazing. But it really, I think it speaks to Megan as a director and also Stacey as a writer. And of course, all the actors and your connection, and just the entire piece felt very familiar and intimate in that way. So again, I'm amazed. Brown Bag keeps delivering, and you all are part of it. So I have another question from Falcon for Catherine. How did you prepare to play a young child?
That is a great question. First of all, Micah is such a wonderful character, and she was so much fun to play, and I really do love her. It was interesting because like I have a lot of younger cousins actually, and so I kind of pulled just from my experience like being around them and like their energy and everything. And then it was really funny because one day Stacey and I actually went to the beach for fun, and there was this little girl. I don't even think I told you this, but there was this little girl playing in the sand, and we were at the beach for like an hour, and I was like, at least for 30 minutes, I was just sitting and watching her and like studying like how she moves and like her energy and the way she would run back and forth between like her mom and her own like little sand world that she was building. And so part of it was from like pulling from real life, and then also like yes, with Megan we did like lots of exercises of like, finding the childlike energy and like finding the optimism and how, Micah sees the world and what, she experiences. And so it was a combination of like Megan being a wonderful director and then like my family and pulling from there. Thank you for that question.
Beautiful. I think we've answered these other two questions. I sort of adapted them. Actually, we can go back into this one. So Stacey, how different is the version that we see versus the version that you had in your head while you were writing? And I'm actually wondering, beyond that, where do you see this play going in the future? Do you think you'll add to it, submit it to any, like, maybe make it into another short film and submit it to some places?
Oh my goodness, so many dreams. Honestly, this version of this play, the way I saw it in my head was very like Micah talking right to the audience and saying like, I want my daddy to come home. So this is why, and this is what, and do you believe in Jesus? Okay. And like, and very like out to the audience and then flash to like what she's seen. And so we like accomplished that, it was definitely not the way I envisioned, but even with, Micah's little vlog in the beginning, it was sort of like exactly, it was the concept. And obviously it's like definitely not how I pictured when I was writing it, but it accomplished the same feeling of like I wanted the audience to just completely be on Micah's side with everything. Like it's seeing it for Micah and through Micah and everything. I do have a longer version of the script that I just sort of kept working on even before Megan had approached me. That goes in more into like Elena's story as well, and sort of like her own things that she's doing. She talks about the things that she wants to do and the things that she needs to do, and we sort of see more of that in the longer version. I would love to do more with this play. I mean, it's like my first baby. It's like
the world that you want to live in. I mean, even if it is like there are elements of sadness,
yeah,
there is so much hope, especially because it's told from a child's perspective. There's so much optimism and so much hope, and really, it could turn into like a TV pilot or something like that. I mean,
thank you.
Anywhere that this wants to go, I want to follow it.
Thank you so much. I just really wanted to tell a story about these three you know, I mean, Mike is a girl, but like 3 women taking care of each other and family, and like who takes care of who in the family, and, you know, things like that. I love telling stories about family dynamics. Like my family's like everything to me, and I wanted to just bring that forth. And so whether it's on stage or another movie and whatever, but I could not be more grateful to have like this be the first thing. I think I don't know. I'm so proud of everybody.
And rightfully so. I think that'll be our last question for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for letting, I always feel so selfish because I love to talk about, I would be asking you these exact same questions at the stage door if I could. So thank you all so much for your time. Another round of applause, not only for this show, but also for every single show in Brown Bag's, oh my gosh, what's it called? Los Cuentos De Nuestra Gente. What a beautiful, beautiful festival. And I'm so, as an alumni, as a former artistic director, I am so incredibly proud of the work that Brown Bag has been putting on. Bravo, brava, brave. Is that the gender neutral? We'll find out. So just so everybody in the audience knows, you can go check out the tienda that Brown Bag has on the website. You can find that in the description. And you'll find items being sold from our community. And this is the last of the shows. So I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you caught them all. And thank you all so much for watching and for supporting Latinx theater, Latinx student theater. So good night, everybody.